All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's a video that I actually promised you later on. Right now, I'm sitting inside my 2021 Nissan Micra. I bought this car as a demo last year with 24,000 kilometers on the clock. It has only done one service at 15,000 kilometers, which means it's typically still a brand new car. I had some issues with this car, and I'm going to explain exactly what the issues were, and the issues are still are, and why you shouldn't buy any Nissan product, and the treatment those guys at the dealership that I actually bought it right here in Mokopane actually did to me. Sorry about that. So here is exactly what happened. Now the car is sitting at 27,891 kilometers. It's due for service pretty much soon. So this car had a problem with the stop-start system. Now, when I took it in, they said they couldn't find anything because they put the car on a diagnostic machine. The technicians couldn't find anything. But the car was shutting off when I was driving. So I took it. I drove it for a week, and then the problem persisted. I took it back. Remember the first time when I took it there, it also had squealing brakes, so the brakes were squealing. The brake discs were worn and the brake pads were worn. So when I took it there, they say, "Oh no, you just had dust in your brakes. We blew the dust off," because they didn't want to repair the brakes and the brake discs. Another thing, the seat that I'm actually sitting here on here has a heater core underneath. So this car has what you call the seater heat mechanism feature, where you can warm your seat when you get in. It doesn't work on the driver's side. I told them, there's no way. We've ordered the part. We'll call you when the part is back. Even now, they haven't called me. Remember that. And it had an issue with the stop-start system. I took it there. When they took off the seat of my car, the one that I'm sitting in, this car has I think I'll show you. Let me try to show you. See that? That's the Bose sound system in the headrest. But on this side, it doesn't work anymore, because when the guy disconnected my seat, they didn't reconnect it properly. Only this side works on the right side, and the whole surround car sound doesn't work anymore because only one speaker is working. And remember, this car only has front speakers, or 4 speakers, 2 at the front doors and then 2 tweeters at the front. Let me try and show you. These are the speakers I'm talking about. That's the tweeter. There's another tweeter right there. There's a speaker down there. See that one? That's a speaker, and there's one down there on the driver's side. There are no speakers at the back. Yeah, the back doors, there are no speakers at all. So those ones are the only ones that are working. The one integrated on my headrest isn't working anymore. How interesting is that? Now, I took the car back in because now it was seriously cutting. It would do it so many times when I'm driving. So they took the car for the whole week. They couldn't fix the car. They couldn't find what's wrong with the car. I went there. They said, "No, we've replaced the steering wheel buttons on your car, or on your steering wheel." And they ruined my steering wheel, by the way. I'll show you how they actually ruined it. It's just that the lawyer that is actually represented me, the guy doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm going to have to find another lawyer, which will cost me more money instead of just replacing things on my own. However, I'm going to try to fight this, because I even called Nissan South Africa. Now, they replaced the steering wheel buttons. I said, I am not going to take that car, because I won't take a car that is not fixed. So that Friday, they gave me a Nissan Micra. I hated driving that thing. I spent the whole month with the car. They spent the whole month with the car. After I called Nissan South Africa complaining that these guys can't find what's wrong with the car. When Nissan South Africa put them under pressure, it's where they called Nissan South Africa and asked for help. Because what you need to understand is that at the dealership, the service manager or the manager itself might not want to call for help on the mother body of the company, because that will expose that he has hired incompetent technicians. So that guy didn't want to do that. So up until I put pressure and called Nissan South Africa called them, then they realized that it was a battery. The battery needed to be changed. The battery that came with this car was too small for the whole electrical system of the car to keep on functioning. So each and every single time when I'm driving and the alternator is charging the battery, it detects at faults and cuts off the engine. So I will have to restart the car all over again. I took the car on a Friday. Didn't drive that much on Saturday. On Monday, when I was driving to Polokwane, I realized that the clutch was slipping. Even when it's on 6th gear, the revs will go up like this. The guys actually burned my clutch. Okay, took the car back to the dealership. You guys ruined my clutch, because now the car is sleeping, and when I collected it, when I bring it in, it didn't have any problem when it comes to sleeping. They say, no, when you took the car on Friday, you took the car when it was okay. So which means this is driver related, it's not covered under warranty. We're not going to repair this. We'll open, they said we'll open an invoice for you. And they were very much quick when it comes to opening an invoice. Isn't it now? They have to replace the clutch and they want to charge me. They were very quick. When it comes to fixing the issue of the stop start system, it took the whole month for them to find out that it's a battery. And even now, the heater core of the seat is not working. They ruined my steering wheel. When I'm turning now, it seems like there's something that is loose on the steering wheel here. The steering wheel itself. I will try and turn it so you can see underneath where the bolt of releasing the airbag was actually made. Now on this steering wheel, there is a button underneath here that releases this airbag for them to work on the steering wheel. So I'll have to power up the car so that I can turn it and you guys can see it. Power steering is off. It will take a little bit of edging. Let's see. You see that? That right there. That is ruined by them. And remember, they said they changed the steering wheel buttons, right? There's excess glue here. I don't know if you can see right there. There's excess glue and the steering wheel is not properly closed. It's wobbling. I went in and talked to the service manager. He said, no, let me investigate the case. I am not going to commit into anything now. Let me look at the camera so that I can see what's going on. They are quiet even now. So the car is due for service on 30,000 kilometers and about 2,000 something kilometers. I'll have to take it for service. Remember this, guys. Now, remember, when I collected this car on Friday, I found that the fuse cap was missing. A lot of things were missing at the bonnet. So I asked that guy, the technician who was working on my car, where are the things that are actually here? He said, no, I'm coming. I'll give it to you. And I could see, man, that there's something wrong with this guy. He's so eager to give me this car. I think that's when they realized that they actually burned the clutch. Now, I took the car. When I was home, something told me, open the car and look at the air filter. When I look at the air filter box, the air filter was missing. So I drove the car from the dealership to my home without an air filter. Which means if I was driving on a dusty environment, I would have choked the engine and probably killed the turbo. Went to the dealership, said, you guys did not put an air filter in my car, man. And the steering wheel here is ruined. The service manager says, no, we'll look at your case right now. Let me investigate because I just got here. I said, you should give me something in writing so that when this engine chokes or dies on me, I will come back to this dealership and you so that I can provide proof that you guys have deliberately removed the air filter in my car and it wasn't there. They gave me an air filter but refused to give me a letter in writing. You understand? Because that in itself is going to put them in trouble. So they rather ruin my car and make everything horrible for me in driving this car that I still have 6 years to pay, and instead of them fixing my car properly. They've hired incompetent people on that dealership. I never wanted to do this, but now I have to do it because they're giving me no choice. They've ruined my reputation. If they're going to sue me for what do they call it? Defamation of character. Let them go ahead and do that, man. Because I am tired of being bullied by this dealership. They're giving me nightmares. I mean, seriously, they're giving me nightmares. This car has a problem of over-clutching. That's why it burnt the clutch. When you put your clutch down, put your foot down on the clutch sometimes, it does not release. So the clutch keeps spinning on the flywheel, which wears it prematurely. So now I have to buy the clutch master cylinder that sends hydraulic pressure to the clutch when you put your foot down. The dealership doesn't want to fix that problem. They say it's driver related. How do I destroy a clutch master cylinder by driving, man? If ever you want to buy a car, stay away from Nissan, man. I'm begging you, please. Stay away from Nissan. You will have a horrible experience. Don't even mind what a salesperson will actually try and convince you. The reason why I bought a Nissan, it was because I wanted something reliable. Because remember, I was driving Volkswagen Polo DSG, which was giving me problem with the transmission and it needed 33,000 rands to replace it. So I changed into this one. However, more problems erupted.